I have never in my life gotten so many comments asking me to cover the same topic ever. You relentless, sick bastards. Alrighty, hey guys, welcome back to the channel to cover the topic, to react, to review, to talk about the video that you have all, and I don't know why, this video, of all videos, this better be really good. I have never gotten so many comments, requests, messages, asking me, even emails, asking me to cover this video right here. Now, if y'all watched my previous CDawgVA reaction videos, one of them I said that I would cover this video if that video that I was on that video, if it got 100,000 subscribers, or it's 100,000 views, whatever, I don't remember. It's been so long. It's been like a year. And as I've explained many times in that video, at first I was going to say a number that was far more reachable, but then as it was dawning on me, I didn't want to review this video. Not because I don't like Connor. Obviously, I think he's a cool dude. But this is an hour long. And the previous video that I did a reaction to was like 30-something, and the video that I posted was over an hour, and I still had to cut out a lot. So this one is going to be really chunky, and I do not promise, as of recording it right now, that this is not going to be a two-parter. I absolutely do not promise that. I have no idea what's going to happen. Maybe I'll post a 2-hour video. I don't know. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just post 2 shorter videos. I don't know. At this point, I have no idea what's going to happen. But due to the fact that the 4 reaction videos that I had already done had exploded for some reason recently and had tripled the number of comments asking me to do a reaction to this video and talking about it, and I thought, fine. I'll finally do it. You can stop sending your letters. You can stop banging on my door. You can stop calling me and texting me. I am reacting to this video. For those who don't know, for those who have no idea what's going on, this is CDawgVA. It's a video called, and I checked to make sure that it was the right one. I believe it's the right one that everyone was wanting me to react to, because I reacted to his previous Yaoi video, Yaoi making audiobook video, which was shorter. And this one is I spent $2,000 on making a Yaoi. Apparently, there's more in this one that people wanted my opinion on, as far as the voiceover side, which is really why I'm reacting to this, why I'm reviewing it, is just for the sake of the voiceover side of it. Because I had a lot of questions in the previous one. I thought his process, I thought some of the stuff that he left out and some of the stuff that he talked about was very interesting, and I wanted more information. And I guess that's why people wanted me to cover this. But due to the fact that this is a video I don't know, I don't think that it's going to be wildly inappropriate, but just in case, there's probably an age of which certain topics shouldn't be covered. I don't know, because apparently he has gone a little bit spicy on some of his videos. But yeah, so you've been warned. Don't blame me. I'm seeing this for the first time too. So here we go.
Manga, or Japanese comics, have become quite popular within recent years. Some manga series, such as Dragon Ball Z, One Piece, Demon Slayer, and Attack on Titan,
I think I actually
are so
own that,
well known that they've
manga.
become solidified in pop culture.
I'm going to continue
But
to say
today,
manga.
We're not going to be discussing those
Like
types
mango.
of manga. We're going to be discussing a genre known as boys love, or as it's typically referred to as in the West, yaoi. Believe it or not, yaoi isn't just a word. That
Wait. It's referred in the West. Wouldn't it be referred in the East as yaoi? And referred to as boys in the West? I don't know. Again, I don't know anything about this.
Instantly demonetized on YouTube. It's actually an extremely popular genre of
Oh
manga. It's
no,
something
is
I've discussed many
this
times
video
on
gonna
my
get...
channel. Recently,
Yes,
Bookwalker, which
apparently.
is a company in Japan that works with publishers.
Bookwalker. Okay, so there was a lot of people talking to me because I had lots of questions about how he got in touch, where he was getting his work, you know, why he was making this, and there was people saying that he was working with a company named Bookwalker that was underneath another company. The one thing I have to say is, from doing the 4 videos on Connor's content, is that there has been a lot of very helpful people that have shown up and explained a lot of stuff, not just about Connor himself, but also about mangas, yaoi, Japan, his living situation. I found out that he was Welsh recently, so that was interesting. I had no idea that he was Welsh. That's awesome. I actually watched a couple of videos of him reading the longest Welsh city name. So you guys have been very helpful, answering a lot of questions. Keep that up. That's awesome.
To distribute online manga. They asked me very kindly if I'd create an audiobook based on one of their yaoi titles. And
Okay.
Of course, I said yes.
Of course you
now,
did.
viewers of the channel
Wait,
will
is
be
that-
getting deja vu.
Okay, yeah,
I've done
no.
this
It
before
was a different
for
one.
one chapter of manga called Under One Roof with the Beast.
That
It
was the
only
one
available for 2 weeks, and
that
so many people
we
not
did a
get to
reaction
buy it.
video to
However,
last time.
This time, it's one full volume of manga. That's 165 pages, over 40 minutes of audiobook.
Wow. And he spent money doing this? I mean, okay, so from what I've gathered is that he has already had like a really good relationship and had already kind of basically made a lot of content on his channel from Bookwalker, from reading their stuff and from reviewing their stuff or whatever. And so it's not like he's going to lose anything. Even at the time of probably this video, he already had quite a few subscribers, quite a lot of views. And so even if he spent $2,000, he's probably going to recoup that in a short period of time, especially from making this video. So I wouldn't say that that is a entirely unreasonable thing to tackle, to do as a voice actor. Essentially, this is more... It's not just him doing this as a voice actor. This is him doing this as a director, as an editor, as a producer. And that's a much bigger... It's a much bigger project. It's much bigger for him to do that than just being a voice actor. Voice actor, just come in, do the lines, and you're gone. He's having to do all of that, which means that for 40 minutes, that's almost like 80 hours, depending on how many different characters he's got to edit in and how many different layers of sound effects. And that's like 80 hours on like the low end. And also 165 pages. That is, woo!
That I will be creating in 1 month. And best of all, it's on sale right now.
In
so
1 month.
I recorded every single second of production on this audiobook to
Good.
show you the nitty-gritty, the behind-the-scenes, every single stressful aspect of creating
That
a
is probably
fully
gonna be
produced audiobook with sound effects, music, and amazing voice acting, I hope, on my part. This
Spoilers.
is that journey.
I apologize
And thank you for taking us on that journey.
for the shaky camera and the shitty audio. I'm going to be meeting with Bookwalker in about 5 minutes. Well, I'm actually 5 minutes late because of course I am. And they're going to fill me in.
You
on what's
stupid
happening with the
bastard!
audiobook.
You never arrive late. You never do that. I've done that all the time.
You excited to be in the video?
Oh goodness.
Mainly, you've probably seen in my videos before.
Hi.
She's the producer at the Yaoi Cafe, the one who's
Greetings.
fangirl.
Thank you for thank you for that.
So yeah, we did the audiobook last time.
Yes.
It was...
Where is Bookwalker located? That's what I want to know. I'm assuming Japan. I think that's where he... Is that where he lives? I think that's where he lives. I don't... I'm not a stalker. I'm not gonna... I'm not a stalker like you guys. Some of you guys know everything about him, and that's creepy. Okay, so... He's very familiar with them. That's good. That means they trust him, so they're giving him they're probably going to give him a lot of creative freedom to do the casting and to do a lot of this and that. I'm curious as to what what the exchange is. I'm assuming he gets a cut of the audiobook. I'm assuming that. There's got to be something they got to give him in exchange, because he's creating a huge product. He's a huge project for them, essentially for free on their end if they're not doing anything. So it's the financial aspect that's really got me interested.
Unlike last time where you only made a chapter, I'm going to challenge you this time to make an entire volume for us, and we're going to put it on our store indefinitely. The deadline is actually a little over a month. First, you'll need to transcribe the actual text in the bubbles, cast the voice actors, have them do their lines, record them, add in the sound effects, the music, master, mix it, check.
That was something that he didn't do last time, and I really wanted to see more of. So that's good. That's really, really good. As far as the transcribing, not a big deal. There have been times when I've been sent comics to transcribe, but they send me a PDF, and fortunately I can just copy the text in the PDF and then copy and paste and stuff like that. So, however, I don't imagine that that's what's happening here, so he's probably going to have to manually type it all in. But that's not too big a deal. It does also give him a chance to familiarize himself with the script, but then it's 165 pages. Man.
For errors.
I don't know if I'd ever do this.
Deliver it to us.
And then I gotta make a video about it as well.
Yes.
I think we can do it.
Are you sure?
Is he going to edit his own video?
I just started the first part.
Is this before he had an editor?
Scripting. Obviously, I'll be compensating my actors, and to figure out how much I need to pay them, I
Good.
need to get a rough estimate
Thank
of
God.
how many lines there are, so I can
God
think
bless
about the
you.
appropriate payment for them. It also allows me to get more comfortable with the manga and get more used to the story and all these characters and the dynamic. And even when I've been scripting a little bit, I've been acting some of the lines out myself and how I kind of want them to be acted out later on. It's a lot of fun, but yeah, it's such a tedious process. I hate doing this. I'm pretty much just going.
Why are you doing it? Oh, the writing. I thought he meant the whole thing. I was about to we're not that long into this. He's already gonna hate it.
And transcribing all of it. Last time there was 35 pages of manga, and this time we have 165 pages. Anyway, I'm gonna get back to scripting.
Okay, so I know there's gonna be a lot of y'all not wanting me to stop and start, but like I've said before, there's a couple reasons I have to. Number one, copyright reasons. I don't own the video, so I have to break it up. If you guys want to go watch the video in its entirety, you gotta go to Connor. You gotta go watch the video, which will be in the description. Also, this is going to be a long video, and I'm not apologizing for that.
All right, we're done. Took me 7 hours. I hate this.
I'm actually surprised it took you only 7 hours.
I was so worried last time, and it worked.
That was a whole day.
There's so much more at stake this time. There's a lot more dialogue. There's a lot more story. A lot more actors to coordinate, and I really want to make sure that if something is going to be out there permanently with my name attached to it, that it's good. And I'm really, really terrified of messing it up.
Don't be.
Now, the reason why you rarely ever see professional projects have casting calls
Over to the
is
mic audio.
most of the time it's invite only, or it's through agencies, or it's a very, very closed off thing. I most certainly could do invite only casting calls. I have a very good network of actors that I could ask, but what's the fun in that? I want to make this a shit show. I want to have toaster microphones, amazing microphones, amazing actors, terrible actors. I want everything. I want you, the viewer, to feel like you had a chance to be in this, because honestly, I'm open to working with anyone who shows promise. So we're going to try our best to make the clean.
Okay. Yeah, I have done both. I have hired people through open casting call websites, through like castingcall.club. I have posted stuff on Twitter. I have hired friends, like just messaged friends. I've done all of it. It really just depends on the project. If there are a lot of voices and you have enough time to do the audition, I think a combination is a good idea. I would definitely say post it on an open platform, like castingcall.club, as well as message your friends. You want to make sure that the people that you can trust are also in the lineup. I would definitely say do it that way. A couple of reasons. If there's a lot of characters, you want to make sure that you have enough coverage. You don't want, even though there's a lot of voice actors, like myself, who can do a lot of different voices, this isn't one of those kind of projects where they're going to be cartoony or they're going to be exaggerated accents and stuff like that. They're all supposed to sound very genuine and very like people next door, like very like just normal, average, common sounding. So you're not really going to be able to have one person do a lot of different characters unless there's a huge age difference. So you're going to want a lot of choices. So I'm interested to see how he goes with this.
Casting call document we can in a reasonable amount of time. I will
legit.
Link to this down below if you do want to see what this document looked like in the end, and if you want to use it as maybe inspiration for your casting call in the future. I'm hungry.
Good.
Ultra cheese. I just paid $30 for a pizza that is roughly the size of my hand.
Why?
Tiny.
This is the casting document.
Well, he's obviously, at least in this video, that was obviously Japan. That was tiny. Say $30? Man. Oh, I weep for you.
These are all the characters up for auditions. I'll be voicing
okay, that's not that
Fuji
many.
and Seima Takaja. The rest are up for audition. Seima
Oh, he
is
is
the
doing
prince
two
of the school
characters.
and one of the main love interests. Fuji is one of Itsumi's two best friends and is very quiet. We have our main character, Itsumi Tachibana, who's a big softie and our main love interest. We have Mizuki, who is the main antagonist of the story and is jealous of Seima and Itsumi. Tetsu is Itsumi's other best friend and he's extremely energetic and carefree. The shop clerk is, yes, as you guessed it, the shop.
I just now noticed some of these rates on here. Okay, I do like that let's see if I can go back a little bit to get a full. Okay, that kind of gives me enough. Okay, so we have 25, 16 lines, 10 for 6 lines, 20 for 10 lines. Okay. Personally, I do like the 300 lines, $300. That one seems fair. The rest of them, even though they are kind of small, you really got to have a minimum. I do know this is all coming out of his own wallet. And it's really hard to say considering I don't know how successful it's going to be. I've never worked with Book Walker. He has. I don't know what kind of compensation he's getting. I don't know all these things. So I don't know how much he would actually be able to, what his budget would be to spend it. But I'd say 10 is too little. Like, it's way too little. Yeah. Also, personally, I prefer putting down number of words rather than number of lines. And that's just a preference of mine. You can do either or. The reason that I prefer listing total number of words rather than total number of lines is I've had clients come to me and they're like, oh, it's like, 10 lines. And then like each line is like a Shakespearean soliloquy. And that makes a huge difference. That's a significant length of time. That's insane. So, even though it's like 16 lines, how many words? I mean, if that's like 3 to 7 words per line, that's fine. That's a really, short, like just in and out character. But if it's like 20 words plus per line, which I've seen scripts where like everyone just had huge, no one talked naturally. It was just long-winded exhales. So that it just wouldn't be fair for 10, especially when it's unknowing. But again, I don't know what his budget is. There's a lot of stuff I don't know. Personally, that would be too low.
Two best friends. And
My
is very
personal
quiet. We have our main
lowest
character, Tsumi Tachibana,
is like
who's a big
25.
softie and our main love interest.
That's
We
like
have
my
Mizuki, who
lowest
is the
that I
main
would
antagonist of the
pay
story
someone.
and is jealous of Seima and Itsumi. Tetsu is Itsumi's other best friend, and he's extremely energetic and carefree. The shop clerk is, yes, as you guessed it, the shop clerk of the cat cafe. The student is a reoccurring character and is on the school council. He's a bit of a kiss ass. The band leader is... It's a band leader, what do you expect? The thug is a villain that appears in a flashback.
Oh, there's a
Hopefully,
lot
now
more
that you're
characters.
familiar with all the characters, you should have an idea for what they should sound like in your head.
I think I've done it. Now I've got to tweet it. And this is the scary part because
Oh, he's
you have
tweet-
this,
okay,
like,
he's putting on Twitter.
foreboding feeling like something is going to go horribly wrong. I know it won't, but I just feel like I've fucked something up that's really embarrassing. I don't know what. But to be fair, I feel like that most of the time. All right, here is the moment.
Okay.
Just gotta hit tweet. It's okay, Connor. It's okay. The whole world won't end. Just tweet it. Ah! Tweet.
Okay, I think I might know where this is going.
It's out. Done. Out of my hands.
I think I might know what the actual
earthquake.
issue is.
Yeah, dude, earthquake. See?
I realize a lot of you
That's
have been
funny.
watching this for a few minutes now and have no idea what this manga is about. So let me
Nope.
explain it really quickly to you.
Okay,
The story
summary.
follows
Here
our
we
main
go.
character, Tsumi Tachibana. He's known as the school bad boy. He's big, he's strong, and everyone's scared.
Okay.
But secretly, he's a huge softie, and he loves nothing more than cats. And he loves going to cat cafes. Seima Takajo,
I would
our
hate
main
a cat
character,
cafe.
voiced by yours truly.
Those
He's the prince
allergies
of
and
the
not a
school.
fan of
He's
cats.
charming, charismatic, and everyone loves him. He suddenly finds himself falling in love with Itsumi Tachibana. But Itsumi, being the oaf that he is, doesn't really know how to feel about this.
Really
Itsumi
lingering
has
on
a
that
bunch of
panel
friends,
for a
Fuji, the hard
while.
ass who never talks.
How long
Tetsu,
was
the
that? It was
lovable
like
idiot
20
who is
seconds?
always too positive. And there's the members of the student council who at every turn are trying to stop
Okay, there is
Seima
at
from
least one
falling in
girl.
love with our lovable oaf Itsumi. Seima is pretty open about his feelings towards Itsumi.
There's no
and
talking
pretty
female
much lets the whole
characters?
School know. And people don't really
Interesting.
understand why he would like the bad boy. It's a really, really cute manga with a really heartwarming story and,
Okay.
and a sex scene at the end. There's one of those.
Oh, for the love of God.
Voice acted. I won't spoil any more as I want you guys to listen to the audio
Why?
yourself. It's really a fun story. I promise you won't be
Why?
disappointed.
His video
Alright,
got
back to the video.
demonetized. What's going to happen to mine? What are y'all doing?
Welcome. I've
What is
just
this?
gotten back from San Francisco. I was actually going to
I have nothing against that, but if that's your thing, fine. But why are y'all making me watch this?
record some of this in my hotel. Turned out I was way more busy than I thought I was going to be at the Crunchyroll Anime Awards. A lot of fun, but no joke, the whole time I was stressing, just thinking like, man, I've got to get this done by the 20th. I haven't even
Crunchyroll
recorded
Anime
any dialogue
Awards.
yet.
Interesting.
Today is the day. It's the part that I'm sure a lot of you have been waiting for. We're casting the characters. It's been just over a
Yay.
week, and we have 182 auditions. Last time I did this, I remember it took me like 2 plus.
There wasn't that many characters. Probably could have just done, friends, just private auditions. Probably didn't need that many. Did just open audition?
Hours, and
So
we
I
only
don't-
had 30 auditions.
I've gone through 100 plus auditions
liked, the ones that I'm
before.
not sure of, and any ones that I categorically don't like, I'm just going to delete straight away. That sounds bad, but I cannot afford to be.
I would. I think I said this in the last video. My personal method is having a folder with all of the auditions, and then I got folders for the characters, and inside those folders of the characters, there's like, and there's like dislike. So I sort them by the characters that they're auditioning for, and then I go through them one at a time, and I put them into those folders. And then I go back through the dislike or the meh category just to make sure there wasn't any performances that I missed or anything that sticks out to me in a second review. And then I move on to the ones that I like and then narrow them down to like the top 3. And then it gets really, really tricky. That's how I do it. I wouldn't do an Excel spreadsheet. I mean, that's a little much.
Be picky with my time here.
There's
I'm
no
already
reason.
Thinking that this is good.
As long as they're labeling appropriately, as long as you're instructing them to label appropriately, like put your character name and then your name, the character that you're auditioning for, and then your name, and then that makes it easier to sort and categorize, which it looks like he did. So
It's gonna take all day.
that's how I do it.
That handkerchief is so cute.
There was a girl character.
Today's the day I become friends with that new kitty Rui. I kind of like it. What's this Itsumi bonus?
Same.
He didn't ask him to do that, did he?
Included moaning. I didn't even ask for it. Just for that, I'll put you on the potential.
I don't know if you're serious or not when you say you like me. But if it's true, I need to know.
Yeah, he sounded like way older, trying to be younger. Man, there was like a muffled element to the audio. It wasn't very clear.
Fake emotion. It's like he's 20% when I need him at 100%. You know. Let me see how he is for the thug.
What the hell are you looking at me like that for?
He sounds like Elvis Presley. No, he sounds like Johnny Bravo. That's what he sounds like.
Yeah, I would agree. Also, I could hear the room. So, again, like I don't know why I'm reviewing these. I'll probably skip a lot of this like I did last time. There's no reason for me to review everyone's auditions in this old video because number one, everyone who auditioned or performed in this or whatever, time has passed. I'm sure they're better now. Number two, I'm not making the call. I'm not making the decision. So who cares?
Hey, look, Harry. That handkerchief is so cute.
Oh, I love it though. I love it so much.
That handkerchief is so
No.
cute.
No. This was 100% recorded on your phone. You're probably too young to be auditioning. for
Yes.
This is an 18+ project. I just feel bad, you know?
Oh my god. Are you going to cry?
He's close to getting Mizuki the way I had it in my
He actually kind of sounds like he like was kind of bullying someone for real, but not the character. Like someone just recorded him saying the line as he was just beating up a younger kid.
But not quite that.
Listen! That concert was out of this world! I mean, their performance was so freaking cool!
See,
plosive.
That was perfect. That's the way I wanted it.
But there was a plosive.
Why don't you come
So make sure you
on
give him
in
that
today?
instruction.
Why don't you come on in today? Why don't you
No.
come on in
No.
today?
That's how like I would
No.
audition when I...
No. All right, so this is a good learning experience. If you are going to do multiple takes, number one, make sure that they're different. They're not just slight variations. Make sure they're different. If you can't think of a different or more unique way of saying that line, just leave the one line. It's totally fine. And then the second thing is a lot of people prefer you to do A and then B. What that means is, so let's say there's 3 lines. So they want an A for line 1, 2, and 3, and then B for line 1, 2, and 3, like all in order. And put a bit of a gap between them so it's clear when it kind of transitions. And professionally, you're supposed to have at the beginning, is like, for example, Timothy Banfield, multiple takes. Take 1. And then you'd go into the A. And then you go take 2. And then you'd go into B. That's kind of generally the professional way of doing it. There's a semi-professional where it's just ignore the whole slate at the beginning and saying the takes. Most people kind of get the idea. But, don't put them so close together and make sure they're different.
I had no idea what the line should have been. So when I hear a take where someone does the exact same line differently, like, for example, "Hi, my name is Connor," and "Hi, my name is Connor." Notice I put the pause at the "hi." If you sent me those 2 lines, you haven't actually done anything different. It's just a slight pause, which doesn't really comment much on what we're looking for as a director. It doesn't comment me on, the quality of your voice,
There you go.
how well you can deliver half the lines. As I don't really consider a slight pause a big indicator of your ability. But
There you
know,
go.
when I'm casting or I'm
Nailed
a
it.
director,
Exactly.
in my head, what I'm thinking is if someone just gave me 1 take with no pause in that line, I know I can easily just tell that person to add a pause when we're recording. This
See?
guy's auditioned for literally everything. Holy
Is everyone having fun?
shit. It just sounds too amateurish.
Okay, as far as auditioning for everything, it's not a bad idea. Sometimes auditioning for everything is a good thing. Sometimes auditioning for everything can be a bad thing. It can overwhelm the director and producer. Also, let's say you audition for 5 characters. And there are 3 that you're confident about. There's 3 that you could fit. And then there's 2 that you really don't fit. And you send in your files. There is a chance that when the director or producer, whoever's listening to the auditions, listens to it, they might listen to the 2 bad ones first and then make their decision to not listen to the others. So kind of use your best judgment. Normally, I would say audition for the ones that you feel confident in. However, there's lots of people, and I know lots of people who say you should audition for everything. But personally, I think you should audition for everything that you understand, every role or character that you actually understand, every role or character that you feel confident in, not necessarily literally actually everything. Also, you need to do a lot of auditions in a week in order to land a role. So you don't want to just fill up your time auditioning for stuff that you're probably not going to get or you're not confident in. You want to audition for the stuff that you're really confident in. That way you can get as much of that auditioning in as possible. So.
Oh, is this a friend of yours, Tachibana?
That's perfect, right? He's got the warm quality of his voice that I think it is perfect.
Just give him a little. Okay, one more thing. I'm not making it through this one in one video. The thing that I was going to say is, so as far as the having auditions that aren't quite perfect, as far as like sound quality, I've worked with people where that was the case, and their performance was really, really good. They got the line. They understood the character. They nailed everything else. The sound quality was just slightly off. And what I had to do was I had to basically schedule and plan extra time for that voice actor so that I could work with them to work on their recording situation and try to improve it. Basically do a little bit of coaching in advance before we recorded. Ask them questions about their setup, get some pictures of where they record, and then ask them what they have around them, what they can do. I normally don't generally ask them to spend money unless they say up front that they can go and they can buy. So if we have time in advance, yeah, I can go to the store, I can grab this, I can buy some blankets or pillows or whatever and set up a little fort. And I'm like, okay, do that. And then tomorrow, then we'll, reconvene. We'll go over your sound quality. And then the following day we'll record. That's what I'll do. So just because someone has like meh audio quality doesn't necessarily mean that I personally wouldn't hire them. And I'm assuming that Connor is the same way.
Oh my God. Are you going to cry? You're going to cry.
I really like his delivery for Mizuku, but I just don't like.
It's really whispery.
Character.
Really whispery.
Is indiscriminately stuck to me like glue everywhere I go, telling me how
He sounds
much
familiar.
He likes me every time he finds me. It's a never-ending confession.
It's good. It's good.
Sounds
Until
familiar.
I get a good one, I get so worried because in my head I'm just thinking they're all gonna be bad. They're all gonna be bad. I really like this voice. I think his delivery could be cleaned up a bit in parts, but the voice is there.
That handkerchief is so cute.
Your audio is so quiet. Why are you whispering? This is how it should look, okay? This, don't give me this. Good, bad, good, bad, good.
He's indiscriminately stuck to me like glue everywhere I go.
That was read very much like the old Resident Evil. Jill, you were almost a Jill sandwich. That's kind of how it's being read. It sounds like he's just reading it.
Telling me how much he likes me every time he finds me.
Man, it kind of sounds like the movie trailer guy.
One man in a Yaoi.
It's so quiet. Look, what is this? I'm pretty sure if I slap my...
That's probably the most extreme case of quiet recording I've ever seen.
Balls against the thing, it would make the same noise. Oh, this is me here, slapping my balls against the thing. I think that's still higher than this.
Thank you.
Ooh, that audio quality is rough.
Come in today.
Oh, that's really good. I did not choose the thug lines. Rather, the thug lines chose me. All right, I'll listen.
Wait, was that his comment on his audition? That's pretty good. I will also say if you audition and you send in basically a customized email and it has like some personality to it, some jokes and stuff like that, it's not necessarily going to land you the role, but you will be more likely remembered. So don't just copy and paste your emails.
What the hell are you looking at me like that for?
What the fuck was that?
How many seconds of silence did you leave? Nearly 5 seconds!
What the hell are you looking at me like that for?
Half a second. 1 second to half a second.
And you're peeking in here! What is this? How do you do this to audio? I don't even know how do you do this?
How do you...
The Thug Lines did choose you. I really don't think you should have chosen them better.
You gotta work on your levels. You gotta work on your levels. I mean, okay, so I'm working on a mixer as my interface, which has compression, EQ, and all that kind of stuff. So I have a lot of wiggle room, and I can, set a whole bunch of stuff so that I never have peaking. The best way, if you're just working with like an interface, the best way is to just set your levels on the interface or digitally. Sometimes it's digitally down, and then you have to normalize it to between -3 dB and -1 dB. That's the only way to like prevent clipping. But I don't know why you'd send it so quiet. No.
You're recording at a tin of beans.
That handkerchief is so cute.
Yeah, not bad.
Really
not
good.
Bad. Oh my god, it's so quiet.
What? I'm not gonna pause again.
You have the record for the quietest lines that even Audacity can't see it, except for this little. I'm pretty sure my thoughts are picked up clearer in my microphone.
Oh my god. Wow. Yeah, so I have this thing for coaching. When I coach people, I have 4 coaching scripts that I hand them, and I specifically have like 2 or 3 characters that are yelling, that are high energy, that are yelling, and then I have 1 character or 2 characters that are whispering, and the whole goal is to see what people's comfortable range is. You have to be able to yell in your space, and you have to be able to whisper. You have to be able to do both, not just one or the other. You have to be able to do both, and you have to normalize your audio. Yeah.
Than what you've spoken.
That's
to
it.
Into your
And so one of the things
Jesus
that
Christ, I can't wait to hear this.
Hey, look.
Are you recording this on your fucking laptop?
No. She wasn't recording it on her laptop. It's just because it was so quiet, the overall background noise level was boosted up. That's why you got to speak at a normal volume, because when you put the highest peaks of your recording at -1, -3, the noise floor is going to be down. The quieter you are, the higher the noise floor raises. So that's why you have to be able to do both. And if you're not in a situation like you're living with other people, you're not in a situation where you can record at a comfortable volume without interrupting people, or you're embarrassed, I've done a couple videos on this, work on your situation. Maybe reschedule your week to a point when other people aren't there, or get more comfortable around, like if it's your family or roommates, get more comfortable with them so that they understand what it is that you're trying to do, your dreams and your goals. And then they'll be more supportive. My family got to a point where they were more comfortable with me recording. My roommate doesn't give a shit if I'm screaming, if I'm recording whatever. He doesn't care, because he knows that this is what I do. He knows that I make money doing this, and you need to get to that point. So that's why when I hand out the coaching scripts, I make a very big point of checking people's range and stretching their comfort level. And 9 out of 10 times, the thing that's holding them back is being too quiet.
Oh my God, are you gonna cry?
Too much.
You're gonna cry?
It's like not a bad delivery if it was for something else.
Hi, my name is Spaz, and I'll be auditioning for the part of Itsumi Tachibana. I don't know if I said that right, but I apologize if I didn't.
No. Absolutely not. Slating is fine, but it just needs to be your name, maybe the character. I would say only include like the character name if it's like from an agent and they ask you to do that. That's the only time. Other than that, if the name is in the file name has a character name and then your name, you don't have to do that. And another thing, it needs to be only a couple seconds, max, if you're doing like your name, character name, number of takes, that kind of thing. Only a couple seconds. Do not drag on, period.
I'm going to be giving it 2 takes, one lighter.
Oh my God!
We're 20 seconds in and I haven't heard an audition.
That kid is way too crazy about cats.
Why does he sound like sarcastic?
Listen, that concert was out of this world.
That sounds like you're being sarcastic to me. If I told you, listen, that concert was out of this world, you'd think, wow, Connor, that must have been pretty bad, huh?
Hey.
Yeah, no, he nailed it. Exactly. It just sounded like he was reading it. He just needs to get more comfortable with reading other lines and channeling it through him. That's all.
Look.
That sounds like how my mother's audio sounds when we FaceTime. M4A is normally a format you get when you record with your phone. Let's listen.
Hey, look. Scary.
That 100% sounds like a phone.
It wasn't bad. Okay. Let me just say this. I've done a video on recording on your phone. You can, but only if it's absolutely necessary. And you still have to speak at a reasonable volume. You still have to speak at a reasonable, and you make sure you're still covering this, with some kind of pop shield or windshield for plosives, and then make sure you're still in a treated space, and then speak at a regular volume. Only for certain circumstances. Not really for paid work. Normally, I would just say, if you had to for an audition, like again, your agent or your manager is demanding that you get an audition in real quick. I've done stuff like that when I've been out on the road and I had to put together something in a hotel room, something like that. I've had to do that there, but not if that's the only mic that you have, if you're at your home. And then again, to quote.
Damn, I'm good.
Listen, that concert was out of this world. I mean, their performance was so freaking cool.
That's probably the best delivery of that line, I think, by a mile that we've had yet.
Today's the day I become friends with that new kitty, Rui.
Slow down, my dude. You got a great voice. Let it take the stage.
It's indiscriminately stuck to me like glue everywhere I go.
Whoa, you didn't say half the words in that sentence. Man, I'm starting to sweat a little now. We're getting close. We're getting halfway, and I still don't have voices for some of the characters I really want.
That handkerchief is so cute. Scary.
Ooh, I like your voice. Yeah, let's go with it.
Oh my God. Are you gonna cry? You're going to cry.
That's probably the best Mizuki we've had yet.
Oh my God, are you gonna cry? You're gonna cry. I love it.
Yes.
So this is something that a lot of people don't know. Improv in your audition is fine. Don't go crazy with it. Don't go bananas. Don't just go off the wall. You still got to say the lines. But if you add some extra, like the laugh, totally fine. In fact, I've gotten auditions where they liked the read because I added something extra. I think there was like an alien or a monster or whatever, and the character was like psychotic, and I added some laughs and some extra growls, some snarls and stuff like that. That isn't in the description, it wasn't in the lines, and they really, really liked it. They actually said that they liked that extra stuff. So that is a good thing. Again, do not go crazy with it. Do not go overboard, and make sure that you still are nailing the character and saying the lines. If you flub some of the lines, as long as the context is still there and it's a great performance, keep it. Totally fine. But if you can re-record it and then do the same thing just with all the words, then do that.
The only one who's allowed to be by the president's side is me!
Finally,
yay!
Did,
yelling.
Man.
I actually did some yelling and it actually sounded good.
Damn, that was good too.
Their performance was so freaking cool.
He nailed that.
Okay, so both these guys in a row showed how important it is that you have a recording space where you can yell in and how comfortable you are yelling. You got to be able to do that because, even though it probably didn't specifically say how loud he was in that read, the fact that he was able to add so much energy to the line showed that he had range, showed that the space that he was in was treated well enough, and showed that he was very, very comfortable recording. Those are as important, if not as, more important than the line itself.
That one as well.
Please, President, take these cookies.
Great as well.
I'm sorry.
Great.
Now we've got to stop, or the teacher will be pissed.
God damn it, he nailed everything. Fuck. That makes it so hard to choose.
Are you dumb or what? After warning you all these times, you still don't get it.
Is that Frieza? It sounds like Frieza. I mean, it's good if it was like a more over-the-top villain, but for this, no.
Sounds like Stewie Griffin constipated. What is this?
Scary.
That was pretty good. I like that.
Hey, look.
I don't wanna.
Hey, look.
Can you speak a little louder, Megan? Man, I'm sure there's been points in this video where like you can see my face like light up the moment I hear them talk, because you just hear it straight away. If you know the line's gonna be good, right? You just hear it.
Thank you.
Ooh, that was nice.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Nice. Get the last line, John, please.
Please, President, take these cookies.
Yes, John.
Oh my God! Are you gonna cry?
Good. It's really good. Why does the audio sound shitty?
Yeah.
I want this to work between us. I know we can make it work. What's your setup like?
Oh, this is a friend of yours.
Ah! So what he did was basically what I was talking about. The performance was great. Find out more about the recording space or his situation, and then work with them. You can do a little bit of coaching. You might be able to help them finish a setup. Maybe you'd be surprised how many times people have talked into the opposite side of a microphone, and they're like, why does my audio sound so dead? And there's this metallic dinging sound, and I'm like, we find out that the microphone is backwards. I think that happened with two people I was coaching. We turned it around, they're like, I'm so sorry. And I was like, it's totally fine. I did the same thing, actually. So I was pretty familiar with it. So sometimes that's all it is. And so sometimes you just gotta help him out. You gotta coach him, because he's benefiting from this as much as they are. So he has to invest into them as much as they need to invest in the project.
Tachibana, he's been coming here a lot lately.
That is the kind of audio you'd get from a horror game. An independent horror game where someone's like on the phone or on a television or on the radio.
Got an officer down. I repeat, officer down.
I do not have an XLR mic, but if you are considering and choosing me at all,
No!
I do not mind investing in an XLR mic.
No! No. No, 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 no. No. Couple things. It doesn't have to be an XLR. It just needs to be a microphone. It can be a USB. XLR is not important. Number two, if you're not willing to invest now, or whenever this was recorded, if you're not willing to invest in it now, then, there's no telling, whether or not you're actually serious, whether or not you're taking voice acting seriously. And from that, it's a clear indicator that you're not. If you were, you would have already taken the time and set aside some money to get a good microphone. So those kind of things just tell casting directors and producers subconsciously that you're not quite taking this seriously, and that can basically damage the whole potential working relationship.
Hey, look. Hey.
You in a school?
Are you in school? Why can I hear other people talking in the background?
Immediately after.
Toaster dude. I remember Toaster guy from the last one.
Being an only child with both my parents working during long breaks, the food
that quality is not.
I remember that one too.
At all. That sounds like a toaster. All right, let's listen to it.
Are you dumb or what? After warning you all these times.
Tora, you upgraded your microphone. Hell yeah.
The only one who's allowed to be.
Also his performance. His performance is way better. I don't know how much time there was between this video and the other video. I could look it up, but I'm not gonna. But yeah, props on him. Even if he doesn't get the role, he made progress. That would actually, depending on how much progress was made in how short a period of time, that would actually put someone on my short list. As far as like, if I had and I do, a list of people that I will go to if I need quick turnaround, or I'm looking for something specific, that might actually put you on there. It would be in a keeping my eye on you kind of thing. But it depends on how good the performance is. But the level of progression shows me that maybe in like a year's time, it'll be exponential. It'll be a huge improvement.
By the president's side is me.
There's no venom in there, man, Tora. Come on. I want to hear just like, the only one who's allowed by the president's side is me. I mean, that was terrible, but you know what I mean? I want to hear rhythm. I want to hear it building up. I want to hear just the hatred in this voice, man. Come on. Hey, it's Ryan who voiced Jin in our last project.
Isn't it a perfect situation for the both of us?
I think he has a great voice for it, actually. I think this is the
Why are we doing so many flashbacks?
And you're trying to send me viruses, apparently.
He's indiscriminately stuck to me like glue everywhere I go, telling me how much he likes me every time he finds me.
In my head, I was thinking, I was like, Jin's voice is like really perfect for Itsumi. Oh, I don't want to have to cast the same guy again, because like I feel like that's kind of like cheating, you know? I don't know. Like, it's such a cop-out, right? Like, it's really good.
I mean, yeah, it would kind of be a cop-out, especially if other people knew. People would just think that, like, I mean, don't get me wrong. If you just cast people that are perfect for the project and it just happens to be the same people over and over and over again, that's not your fault. Especially if it was an open audition like this was, and that guy just nailed the audition. So don't feel too bad about it.
Amazing.
I like the crackle.
Very good, Seth. I am happy with that audition. Holy shit.
I like the crackle.
I've worked with Kevin before. He's voiced in my Grinder video. I'm expecting good shit, Kevin.
All right, everybody.
I'm not reviewing that.
Next is our last song.
Nice. He actually put some exhausted,
gravitas,
as you would be if you were delivering your final song. You know, you're doing a set here, you know.
And he did sound like.
Stop, or our teacher will be pissed.
Okay, Kevin. I see you. My name is Merlin, and I'm a kitten from Texas. My tia auntie dared me to do this, so here it is. I also am irritated, so she is helping me out.
Okay, earlier I said make it customizable, put some jokes in there. This one's trolling and it's too long. I would not be a fan of that. I might skip.
With everything. Why would you send me this? Do you fucking hate me? What is history makas? It's history make. Oh my god.
Can you hear my heartbeat? Tired of feeling.
All right, that's pretty good. All right, I'm gonna skip that. I don't know what that is. Well, I mean, I know it, but I don't know if that's gonna like affect the monetization.
Right now, I've made a spreadsheet of all the voices that I like.
Why would you make a spreadsheet?
I made a note with the yellow highlights, basically saying which ones stood out to me the most on the first listen through. So
oh my god!
We're gonna go from, I guess, the least lines to the most
Again, I would have
lines,
done a folder. I would have done a folder.
And go like that. You fucking kidding me? What?
What?
What? I was opening so many files that Google thought I was doing something suspicious. Let's get back to it. Jesus Christ.
What?
No! This is your friendly reminder that you can purchase the audiobook right now by using the link in the description
What happened?
below. I kindly ask you that if you do buy the audiobook, please make a new account and use the coupon code CDawg at the checkout. I hate begging, but if you buy the audiobook without using my coupon code, I don't get paid. I know it's
okay,
dumb, but
there
it's
we
just how it
go.
is.
Finally.
If you then successfully do that,
He
for
does
$15, you will get the whole volume
make
of manga
money
that you will digitally
through the
own,
coupon.
as well as
Gotcha.
a 43-minute audiobook to yourself. Sorry about that. Back to the video.
Okay.
Realistically, I think
I don't know what his percentage, what his cut is, how much the audiobook is, but he's getting some level of compensation as well as doing a video, which he gets compensated for. So that makes it all pretty much worth it, especially considering if he had done this before, good relationship with Bookwalker, and the previous book, even if it was just a chapter, sold really well or, got a lot of attention. And he's got a big following, so yeah.
I think it would
fair
be better
compensation.
to do Itsumi first, and then build the whole voice cast around that voice. But that's no fun if I just do the main straight away, right? Come on, we'll do that at the end. Let's go from the top. Let's go to Nevin.
He really should try smiling like that more often. Oh, that kid is way...
Yeah, no. I think I was just desperate for a name on the board when I started. I did not that straight away. Next we have Blake.
That kid is way too crazy about cats.
Did I like this? Maybe it's because of the time I had nothing good. No, what was I thinking? Can I trust anything that I thought?
Listen, that concert was out of this world. I mean, their performance was so freaking cool.
You kind of nailed the delivery, but I don't know if I like the voice.
Their performance was so freaking cool.
I like it a lot, right?
So right now he's doing basically what I was saying before is like having the different folders and going back through them and listening to them and confirming what you thought. I generally say if I have enough time, I will, and I try to give plenty of time and not really a deadline on the project, because a lot of the time it's just a project for me, is I put, maybe like a day between the first go through and the second go through, so it's a little bit more fresh ears. But he's a little bit more on a crunch, so he probably doesn't have that kind of flexibility.
Delivery of this line. There's no f***ing around, right? I know exactly what he's going for. I know exactly why he's given that direction. I know exactly how he came to that conclusion in his head. He clearly understands that, the character is kind of like throwing his arms back, man, aren't you hungry? Like he puts that in his line. You can tell he can just see the nuance in that line, and I really, really like that. And I think with a lot of these actors, either they're the ones that I put as maybe, either they get it to some extent, or they don't. Damn, it's hard. I genuinely think, objectively speaking, Patrick does a more accurate portrayal and performance. Wes really gets that last line. He really nails it. I think that's the best take we've had on it. And I think when I do direct whoever, does get it, I'm definitely going to want it the exact same way that he did it. But
so this would definitely be the point in which he would want to walk away from it. Go over the other ones. Like, when he gets down to a hard decision like that, walk away, put some time between your decision making, and then come back later with some fresh ears, preferably a day later. So he should probably just, since he's got two, go on to the other ones, go through theirs, see if you can make decisions. If you get down to the same, it's tough now that you got few, then you keep going on. And then by the time you get back to that first roster, the first lineup of auditions for that character, you've had basically a palate cleanser of listening to a whole bunch of different kinds of voices and different kinds of performances, that the two on the first list will be a little bit fresher again.
I think we got to give Tetsu to Patrick. I'm really worried because I don't want to get in the position now for Mizuki where I wish I gave it to Patrick. But I think we have a lot more stronger takes on Mizuki than we did Tetsu. All right, one down. Let's go to Mizuki now.
Who's allowed by the president's side as me?
No.
Way over the top. Yeah.
Are you dumb or what? After warning you all these times, you still don't get it. Oh my God! Are you gonna cry? You're going to cry!
This is why it's really important to put your first take as your strongest take. Because, when I'm going through 200 plus auditions, or when anyone else is going through that many auditions, I promise you, they're gonna, 99% of directors, the moment they hear the first take, that's probably the only take they're gonna listen to.
The only one who's allowed to...
Yeah, kind of like the thing that I was talking about before, is same thing with the, if you're doing multiple characters, make sure they're all strong, because they might listen to the ones that aren't so strong, the weaker ones, and they might not listen to the rest. Most, especially amateur or independent content creators or casting directors or, people who are not on a very high professional level, will kind of roughly shuck through the list real quickly. And in fact, very sad to say that most auditions you get off Twitter, most of the time they've already made their decision long before the deadline, normally within the week or two. And personally, I've always found that to be very unprofessional. But there's lots of people who do that, and they leave the audition notice. They never update it. They never tell the people that are auditioning, sorry, we've already closed. And then they just never open the emails. And, yeah, it's kind of sad.
Well, there's a lot of general conversation, and, you know, you're not always constantly hitting those emotional high notes. So, on one hand, you could argue I could go with multiple meanings, because he gets the everyday conversation a little better than Ryan. But on the other hand, knowing that an actor can go there, and go to those depths, and go to those really uncomfortable emotional spots is really fantastic and telling that, okay, if I can just give this guy the right direction, he can absolutely murder these lines.
There you go. Exactly. Got to showcase your range. I'm going to skip a lot of the auditioning because this is already going to be a very, very, very long video. And there's no reason to go through all the performances and all the auditions. I just wanted to showcase some of the things that, talk about some of the things that showcased some elements that maybe some of you guys have in your own audio or in your own performances, and maybe this will help you. That was the only reason I wanted to do that. But my God, there was so much auditioning. I mean, that was like half this video.
Congratulations, Ryan.
Confession.
You're going to be voicing in another audiobook of mine, which I genuinely thought wasn't going to happen this time. So shit, I guess we have our cast. I'm kind of excited. I can't wait to record, man. There's so many talented individuals here, and I cannot wait to get on call with these guys and get all their lines done. I'm very, very excited.
I like how it keeps going, please buy the book. Please buy the book. Please, for the love of God.
Lovely to meet you.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Your natural speaking voice is pretty deep.
Yeah. I don't put it on. It's... I just wanted to make sure we got the right delivery for them, because I liked your audition, but no one nailed the 3 takes the exact way I wanted it. So that's what we're trying to do today.
Sure.
I like your overall, the tone you gave.
I was trying to think of something to say for this segment because I don't want it to just be playing his video without commentary. I don't know how soon he's rolling into this. I know the previous video he had a lot of dates, and it kind of gave you a little bit more of a time frame. I don't know how much time has passed on this one. Again, I would pace yourself, especially if you're doing a large project like this. Kind of pace yourself. I know he's got a deadline, and I know a lot of that got eaten up by the convention that he was at or something like that, but I just would have taken more time doing the auditioning, kind of pieced it out a little bit, just to make sure that you got the right people.
It's real.
You want fresh ears on it.
Song, the way you delivered that, I really like that. And the final line, we got to stop on the teacher will be pissed. The only thing I want to improve on that is just the enunciation.
Oh, I knew that was gonna be an issue. Yeah. You got it.
Good.
Okay, sure.
Why? Wait, if you knew it was gonna be an issue, why didn't you fix it?
But sometimes it's just I knew I flubbed it.
I don't want to hear this shit.
But I won't flub it this time.
Alright, good.
Jeez.
Alright. What we'll do is do 2 takes of the line. All right, everybody. Next is our last song. Do 2 takes, and then I'll direct you.
All right, everybody. Next is our last song.
I love the energy.
All right, everybody. Next is our last song.
We got to stop, or the teacher will be pissed.
Okay, so he did do some slight variation. Didn't mix it up too much. He kept it kind of in the pocket, kind of close together with some slight variation because he's waiting on direction. But at the same time, he kind of nailed the energy. So good.
Did this again. You'll think maybe let's try a take without breaths, and then let's try one with breaths.
We gotta stop, or the teacher will be pissed. We gotta stop, or the teacher will be pissed.
Okay, one thing that I'm going to say, and I have a video on this, is I know there's some people, I don't know why they do this. There's some people that try to cut out all their breaths in character work. Don't cut out your breaths. Sometimes the breaths, like is showcased here, are as important as the dialogue itself. It actually gives you a lot of information about the character and what they're going through and what's going on around them. So if you got someone that's panting like this, then that shows high energy, anxiety, sometimes fear. So if you take out the breaths, you're taking out an extra layer of context in the voice, especially when there's no animation. It's just stills. So if you are one of those people that tries to eliminate all of your breaths or add a deep breath or whatever, If it's character work, if it's animation, if it's video game, don't worry about it. The only breath that you really have to cut out or try to get rid of is the prep breath at the beginning. That, and then when you go into the line, that big breath at the beginning, that you can get rid of that one. That one can go away. But within the dialogue, leave all that there. So outside of prep breaths, if there's like, maybe if there's a line that has like a pause, and then you breathe in the middle of the pause, and there's, if the person, the director, editor, whoever wants to get rid of that breath in the middle, they'll do that. But ultimately, the only breath you got to worry about is at the beginning. That was it. I just wanted to say
I won't be able to see it, but do a smirk when you about halfway through the line, so we can hear that you're like laughing at the teachers. Like,
we gotta stop, or the teacher will be pissed.
Yeah, let's try one more instead of a smile.
Yeah, you can hear smirks, and you can hear smiling, you can hear frowns, you can hear laughing, and you can hear how genuine it is. If someone is smiling when they're talking, you can hear that. So if the character is smiling, smile.
And then one where you're like, is everyone having fun? Try that.
Sure, you got it. Go ballsy, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Yo, guys! Is everyone having fun?
Oh my, whoa. Dude, you're not killing them. All right, can I have a meow, please?
Meow.
All right, a little more really engaging with the meow.
Meow.
She's doing the cat.
Now, a little more like your owner's been gone for 20 minutes and you're not really sure how to feel about it, and you don't really know if he's going to...
I think it's a blue microphone she's on.
Okay, not bad. All right, now can we get one where it sounds like you just came out of the first viewing of Cats and you're kind of disappointed? I like what you're doing right now, but I kind of want one that really is just not happy with the current political...
This is hard to...
Yeah, a little too aggressive.
This one's hard to do any commentary on, because it's like, as far as like people doing animals, and I've done a lot of that, it's really hard to actually kind of give solid advice or direction, because it's kind of a weird thing to try to juggle. I don't know, I thought the door was still open. It's a weird thing to try to juggle. Is part of you wants to do a believable, convincing sound, a convincing version of the animal, but at the same time, if you were to like perfectly mimic the animal, it's not going to have personality the way something animated or manga or anime would want the animal to be. So it's kind of okay that it doesn't quite sound perfectly like an animal. I mean, most animals in cartoons, in video games, if they're like being interacted with, there's a lot of people who do Foley. Sometimes horses in movies is actually just a guy making horse noises. Yeah, so this one's kind of a tricky one. Don't really have many notes, but it's, it's something that you can make money doing, and it's really hard to direct.
All right, we got it. I think we got it.
Excuse me, don't know what the. I'm touched by it.
Okay, yeah, he's got a little bit of a tricky setup because he's got his line off to here instead of the line being in front of him. You got to find some way of getting the line above and in front of you so that, you can follow along. It just kind of helps you. It's not, if you can memorize the line, if the lines aren't that long and you can memorize them, that's totally fine, But generally speaking, it's important to help you prevent from having to do revisions or take longer, because you're going to have to stop and start like this.
Excuse me, I'm Tachibana. I haven't had to memorize the lines in years.
Yeah, stop touching it.
Excuse me, I'm Tachibana from grade 2, class C.
Perfect. Yeah, I like that.
This is the plush kitty keychain from Yamabuki Bread that you can only get after collecting 300 stickers.
That was perfect.
Okay, one thing I've got to ask. Okay, is he the bottom or is he the top in this?
Of course he's the bottom.
I had to make sure. I can't tell him that I'm probably being bullied. It's just too lame.
The only note that I have is close proximity to the microphone. I'm like, I don't know if that's necessary for this. When you're doing like a regular audiobook that's not based on visuals, you can do the entire thing like really close to the microphone. Like that's totally fine. This is what people expect. And this actually, the close proximity actually kind of helps lull people to sleep. But when you're doing something that's based on animation or has visuals, like a manga, I would say back off the microphone so it sounds a little bit more natural. So it's because personally, again, I'm not doing this. He's directing it however he wants. He's editing it however he wants. But me personally, I would want it to sound a little bit more like you were in the scene. How it would sound like if you were there standing between the characters, how would it sound? That's how I visualize it. That's how I try to edit, and that's how I try to act. So I normally have people back off a little bit from the microphone instead of having that close proximity effect. Also, it helps cut down on plosives, and if it's too bassy for whatever reason, I can, I don't have to cut a whole bunch of low end off. I would say that if it's like internal monologue or the character talking to themselves, then that's probably a time when that would make sense, because that's a moment when you as the outsider aren't technically supposed to be near them. But if they're whispering or it's internal monologue, then you would be closer to them, and so you would get that close proximity effect. I don't know, just something to think about.
This is like kind of like a overwhelming, like
again, that's how I would do it. That's not how he's doing it. That's just preference. I just want to kind of like give you some information of what would go through my mind if I was
Okay,
doing
yeah,
this.
so I guess you're full on crying at this point, right? So like,
Wait, break time after 5 hours?
This slide. Yeah. I'm sorry to keep you at that emotional state.
I would I would have broken that down a little bit, like
just
every
US, medical
3
care,
hours max.
You should be able to do it. Pretty easily, I think.
No, I picture you as medical care. I'm just gonna drop dead.
One less energy. Takajo! Like you're like, oh, didn't know you were gonna be here.
Yeah. Takajo.
What the f was that?
Takajo.
That was perfect, actually. Damn. Either I'm really good at giving direction, or you just get the bullshit that I'm saying.
You have worked with him before.
Hello?
He has worked with him before, so there is the couple benefits of working with people on a regular basis. Is number one, you don't have to break the ice every single time. There is an awkwardness and a shy anxiety, even if you're not new to voiceover. There's still going to be a level of anxiety first time meeting someone. So you don't have to break. Like in the previous video, they did a lot of jokes and they did a lot of joking and trying to lighten the mood and make sure that it was understood that this was a friendly environment. That's already been established if you're working with someone on a regular basis or working with someone again. So, that's one of the benefits of that. So there is that is one of the reasons that people do kind of work regularly with others, with friends, is that they kind of don't have to break in new talent in a way.
This PC just crashed. A little worrying, to say the least.
Angry noise, 17. Okay, great, perfect.
Takajo-senpai. Senpai, about the stage equipment. Senpai?
Maybe one like where you're playing with it, like Takajo-senpai. Like, I don't know, like you're kind of like toying with it a little bit.
Flirty?
I am jealous of his studio and his microphone. That's the only note that I have.
Yeah, let's see that.
Takajo-senpai. Senpai, about the stage equipment. Senpai?
Oh, yeah.
That guy's really good. He's really, really good.
Perfect.
Yeah, I already hate him,
And then I see the little hee-hee underneath that. Do you want a hee-hee?
Yeah, we'll do that as well.
Oh, that's why Takajo tried to get close to you in the first place.
Yeah, I like that. Okay.
Such a dick.
He really is, right?
Wait, please!
Yes, I was actually about to clap, but then I heard him do it, and I'm like, I'm not going to do it. But yeah, no, he was comfortable yelling. He was comfortable screaming. One of the things that makes it so hard for a lot of people to do stuff like that is the fear of perspective. They think of if they were looking at themselves or other people looking at it, how ridiculous they would look, how ridiculous they would see. And yeah, you're going to look ridiculous. You're in here, you're being some random goofy character, you're going to sound and look ridiculous. There's no way around that. And, you just got to get over that. You just got to get past that because it's not about how you look, it's about how you sound. And he nailed it. He did great. Props to him.
My bread and butter.
Is it really? Yeah, I'm not surprised.
I get cast a lot for my yelling and my crying. My devastation. I get cast for my devastation.
Yes, good.
Please.
Good.
I didn't expect it to hit that hard, that fast. I was like, because normally sometimes a shouting line, you got to warm up to it. You just went like, oh wait, oh my god, it's great, fantastic. Wow.
Yeah, go all in.
Anime, we yell.
Go all in. It's better for him to go all in. Basically, kind of comfortably cap it, to where he can go with his range, and then it shows Connor that he can reel it back. Because if he kind of went halfway and Connor wanted a little bit more, he doesn't have the confidence that he can actually get that out of him. But it's also easier to direct someone to reel it in a little bit than it is to get them to push it up a little bit. So.
Yeah, no kidding. Right now.
Oh shit! Here we go! Yay!
These rooms are sound treated, soundproofed in Japan. It's about 600 yen an hour, and I mean, if you bring your own equipment as well.
Wait, what the fuck? I mean, it's soundproof, yeah, but it's just flat, bare walls and a giant mirror. What? I mean, it kind of looks like a bathroom. Is that where he's recording? Okay, so I've said this many times. There are multiple kinds of ways of sound treatment. There's multiple kinds of ways of sound treatment. There's the treatment, and then there's soundproofing. So the space that he's in, it looks like it's soundproof, which means that the walls are extra thick. There's extra layers of drywall. There's extra layers of rock wool or fiberglass. Any kind of insulation that's in the wall is probably an additional layer. So it's going to be like solid wall, fiberglass, solid wall, fiberglass, solid wall. That's kind of more or less how it is. So there's extra barriers. So what's happening is that the sound waves, which are just vibrating air, are going through the material. And the more mediums that it has to go through, especially when it's changing mediums, going from a dense medium, soft medium, dense medium, soft medium, dense medium, it eats up the energy of the waves. So that looks like what's happening here. Also, if the walls are kind of exposed to the loose fiberglass or the softer insulation, that loose material will kind of capture the sound and hold it in. So sometimes you don't actually need the acoustic foam like this, because this kind of what this does is it redirects sound. Meaning if you send out your voice, send out noise and energy vibrations, it's actually going to dissipate and shoot in different directions, and it's going to bounce around, and that makes it lose energy. Because it's going to bounce around and keep getting broken into smaller and smaller chunks and smaller pieces, losing its energy. And therefore, what comes back into the mic is so weak that there's no reverb. There's no echo. There's none of that. So it kind of does the same thing in a different way. Also, it's foam, so it does also kind of shake and absorb some of that material. So there's different ways of doing it. I've seen some people's studios that are just completely flat walls that has no reverb, and that's kind of, still a mystery because I've never really gotten to build my own. However, on this side, I do have big sheets of insulation of rock wool, which is basically kind of what he has behind him, which is kind of my live wall, yet at the same time it's another material, it's another medium, and the noise outside of that wall that goes to the outside kind of helps isolate that. So I'm interested what kind of space it's in.
My heart out, which is what we're going to do today. You can use some of their equipment if you pay extra, but I brought all my own, so it's fine.
What is the
There's
studio?
No food, but I don't play by the rules.
What's the studio?
Hungry. You know what? I'll go in the other room. I don't want to break the rules. I lied. So I'll show you guys my setup.
Oh, you pussied out, you bitch.
This is the full room. It's kind of small, not gonna lie, but you don't want a big room for vocal stuff. My laptop, microphone, audio and...
Yes and no. You don't want a big room if it has no treatment like this. That's going to be absolutely horrible. Also, it depends on what you're recording. When they do a lot of like Call of Duty kind of stuff, the space they actually record in is actually pretty big. It's actually a pretty large space. I'd say it's probably like 3 or 4 times larger than the one that he's in right now. It looks like the space that he's in is not too far off from the square footage of my space. In a small space like this, you definitely want to break up those sound waves because what's going to happen is they're going to come back to the microphone a lot faster and a lot clearer. Really the only issue that I have with looking at what I'm saying is it looks like it's designed for music, hence the keyboard and the mixer. That's a little bit more of a music setup, and the giant reflective surface in front of him. Those are the things that I'm like, oh man.
So we're just gonna go ahead, get the script.
I probably wouldn't. I would never record in there.
Noise for my liking. I'm take the change out of my pocket. Don't want any of that.
However, knowing that he's probably gonna get very, very close to the microphone, that's kind of his
thing.
Even
slight change in your pocket will 100% be picked up by the sensitive ass microphone.
Do I go British or do I go American? As the audience, you're probably thinking, Connor, you should have thought about this before you even cast yourself as the role.
I found you, my Cinderella.
So is that his British? Is that his English? I just want to talk about the whole like everything in your pocket. Also, cotton clothes. If you're wearing like polyester or any kind of like fake material that has that kind of like plastic squeakiness to it, hard to describe, definitely want to avoid that. Anything that's got like a lot of buttons, especially if you're going to be doing like a lot of this, avoid it. You want it to be kind of tight-fitting and organic materials.
My Cinderella.
Yeah, British, I think. All right, it's just me in the booth. And I got 3 hours and 15 minutes to bash these lines out.
I found you, my Cinderella. I'm the council president, Sema Takajo. There's something I wanted to tell you, personally.
That don't sound real.
Okay, so the recording space that he's in is fine. There's no problem. Yeah, it sounds like it has this kind of treatment where it's technically a flat surface, but it has a material in it that absorbs sound. So even though it has that one reflective wall, it's what's happening is even if something's bouncing off that wall, it's going behind him, hitting the wall behind him, which is then absorbing it. So you're not getting a standing wave. You're getting one reflection, which is probably going to happen real fast, so much so that you're not really going to hear anything. So it's fine.
It don't sound like you actually give a fuck about what you're saying.
I became interested just recently because I found out you go regularly.
I hate the word regularly. Regularly.
What?
Regularly. My British ass accent doesn't work.
Regularly? Is that what he's trying to say? Regularly? What did he say?
The word. Regularly.
Because I found out that you go regularly. Because...
Oh! I've absolutely been where he's at. I've absolutely been there. I've absolutely been in that kind of situation. Yeah, that's going to happen a lot. You're self-directing, you're self-editing. There's no other person. There's no third party. It's all you. So sometimes it's actually harder for you to get a good performance out of yourself than it is for you to get a performance out of someone else. That's just something that I've learned. And yeah, you're also going to get a lot of times when there is a line or a word that is going to absolutely, totally beat you. For me, a lot of times it's because I have dyslexia, but I have a really good memory. So what happens is I will read a line completely wrong, but I will memorize it really good with the wrong word. And then it becomes very, very hard for me to get that out of my head. So also sometimes scripts are written not with proper flow, the way a human would normally say something. So the rhythm and pattern is really odd and it feels like a tongue twister, which is probably what he's going through right now, especially with the word regularly.
Itsumi! Itsumi!
Okay, there I can hear the room. There I'm able to hear the bounce back of the room. I'm going to do that again.
Because... Itsumi! Itsumi!
Yeah, you're getting a very slight reverb. You're getting a very slight bounce back, and that is from the large, flat, dense surface, which is, I'm assuming is glass in front of him. But it's not lasting very long because it's going behind him and it's getting absorbed in the wall behind him. So he's getting a little bit of that, but it's really only prevalent on the high notes, on the loudest part, which is what I would expect. But other than that, it's totally fine.
Itsumi! Mario!
I found you!
Alright, we're about 70-something pages in.
Those are very funny.
We're roughly
Is that like a karaoke remote in the back? What is that?
So far, I'm not, like, terribly thrilled with my performance. Like, I think the emotional lines I'm getting 100%, like, it's clear as day to me in my head. With some of the other lines, I'm just, like, I'm doubting myself. It's kind of like in a test, right? A test that you prepared for weeks in advance. The moment it comes to the test, you're so well prepared that there's, like, multiple answers in your head. You're like, wait, is it this? Or is it this other concept that I really understand and know well? And you're kind of like, I'm over-answering everything. And I'm doubting everything because I've prepared so much, you know, and it's kind of like that.
And again, this is part of the whole self-directing. He doesn't have anyone to bounce ideas off of. It's just him. So once he locks into that kind of, oh, that's the way I like it, you know, that's the way it should sound, you know, it's very hard for him to get out of that box. Also, okay, so I've been kind of like going hard on his recording space. It's not really that big a deal. I just wanted to point out a few things and explain some stuff because I don't want people to look at, you know, this kind of, it's like, oh, it looks like a bathroom. I can record in my bathroom. You'd be surprised how many people have thought stuff like that, or a closet with no treatment. This is still treated even if you can't see the treatment. Also, he's going to be putting sound effects and music over it. So if the reverb or any noise is low enough, it's probably going to get covered up by the music and sound effects. So again, it's not going to be that big a deal. Also, I think the thing that he's benefiting mostly from this space is not the treating of the interior of the space. It's not going to be the, you know, how dead the sound is inside. The thing that he's probably benefiting from is the fact that he has multiple hours available to him without noise leaking in from outside, interrupting him, which is something that I don't really have the luxury of all the time. I'm actually surprised I've been able to record this for so long. So that's something that he wants to make sure that he has under control. That's probably more important than a little bit of bounce back. Like, that's whatever, who cares? So he wants to make sure that he has multiple hours, apparently 3 or 4, to record nonstop, no interruption, nothing that he's got to, you know, edit out, just so he can get it done. So that's probably what the main focus of this was.
It's really annoying, but it is what it is.
You're still saving me.
Get that emotional. I need to get in my emotional depths right now.
Watch a sad video. Real quick sad video of, I don't know, Marines coming back overseas, seeing their kid, seeing their family or whatever, somebody hearing or seeing for the first time. That'll get you real quick. Now, as an actor, I can just get into like a sad moment, like give me a couple minutes and I can just take myself there. But if you can't, and you're reading a scene or a line that needs a little bit more emotion, go ahead and watch a video. If you're new to acting or new to voice acting, watch a video that you know is going to make you sad, and then hold on to that. Hold on to that state, that thought, that feeling. Go right into the line. It might help you. You do want to, at some point, be able to, you want to get to a point where you can go into those feelings without needing external help. But if you're just starting out, that can kind of help you.
Bye. All right. 2 stories left. One of them is just we're fine. We can get through this. Easy. Let's go. I'm not going to record the sexy boy scenes on camera. I don't want that being on film. 3 hours of recording and we're finished with all the lines. Those orgasm sounds were weird. Never done that before. Overall...
Why did he cast himself? Why? If he's never done that before and it was weird and it was uncomfortable and this and that, why did he cast himself as that character? I mean, come on, man. It made me laugh, though. Have I ever recorded anything like that? I will never say. But yes, if you're self-directed, producing, and you're not comfortable with a certain thing, go ahead and just not cast yourself as that. Leave that off for someone who has done it or would be more comfortable with it, or, just basically delegate out stuff that you would be comfortable doing, because that kind of, if you're really, really uncomfortable, which doesn't look like he was that uncomfortable. It seems like he was fine with it for the most part. But if it is something that you are uncomfortable with, it's going to show through the audio. It's going to be there. People are going to hear that, that you're not giving it 100%. So sometimes it's better to just hand that off to someone else.
Not bad. I really wasn't confident in some of my deliveries, and in some of them I was just doing the line over and over again in the hopes that I was eventually going to get something good. But
yeah, you can hear that tube sound in the room. It's not a lot of echo, but there's this bassy reverb. Most of that is because he's talking into the glass in front of him. He's getting that. I basically got a very similar effect when I put up the studio because it was such a tall ceiling, and I had to hang a big heavy bass trap above me. So it could just be in that space, or if he was to make his own space, put a couple bass traps that just have. I would grab these, but they're kind of behind the camera and it would knock it over. But yeah, so just adding something that's like a bass trap in front of it, you don't have to have the acoustic foam, could basically get rid of that kind of...
really wish I had a director to help
sound.
me just really work through it and really stop myself from overthinking and being overcritical of myself. I know I can do this. It's not that difficult. I definitely have the skills to do this. It's just sometimes you're your own worst enemy.
We don't have many lines, but...
I'll bet he sounds amazing.
Pretty quickly, and get on with your day.
Yes, thank you for skipping because there's none to show.
So funny thing, I just totally forgot I was voicing Fuji. I knew I was, but I totally forgot to record for him in the studio. So we're doing it here. Fuji is a guy who just kind of So I feel very in touch with him as a character.
He's doing the throat thing
Look,
again.
all this guy has is He has this 40 lines in. My God, Fuji, just f***ing say something. That took us less than 5 minutes to do all of Fuji's lines. So we wanted a lot of noises, super cartoonish, really dumb, really over the top. All right, yep. Go ahead and start with some noises. Could we get some that are a little more subtle as well? I had your book.
Oh, right. He's the other student.
Full on shriek, right, and then.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm sorry.
I love that. One thing I want to point out is his body language. I want to point this.
Thank
You see how he did that? Basically, it's the same thing that like a conductor does when they're doing music, when they're conducting music. He's giving himself a physical and visual cue for what to do. You'll notice if you're getting into voiceover that if you just stand there and don't move, don't do anything, it's going to be a very, very different performance than if you're physical. I'm normally very physical. I like to talk with my hands, as you've noticed, and I'm very physical and I'm very active. So sometimes when there's characters that are supposed to be very, serious or very posh or proper, I will often have to lock my arms behind my back so I have that kind of low energy performance. I love what he did, even when he was doing the like the shaking and being the nervous. He was physically shaking himself and jittering his hands, which helped with the vocal performance.
I think I lost you. Your audio went, but I like the sound of it.
These are the kind of performances or the kind of characters that I like, where there's tons of space, tons of room.
Please, Mr. President, take these cookies!
You added in the Mr. again, but good. And maybe one with more stumbling and more desperate.
Please, President, take these cookies!
Well, why don't you try it one more
As I say, these are the kind of characters that I actually like the most, when they're like, they don't make or break a scene, or they don't make or break the story. They're comical relief, but they do have dialogue. They have a lot of personality, but yet at the same time, there's wiggle room. I like those ones because then you get to kind of like have fun, which clearly he is, and props to him. Yeah.
It's like, please, President, take these cookies.
Please, President, take these cookies!
He's so
I'm
good.
not gonna use that, but I like it though. Okay, we definitely.
I don't know who any of these people are, but I really hope that this guy is getting tons of work. In fact, all of them. I hope all of them are getting tons of work. But him, sounds like he has not been. It looks like he has not been doing it for very long. He's got moving blankets up. Not a problem, by the way. Don't be ashamed of the moving blankets. The moving blankets basically, serve the same function as the rock wool kind of stuff. And, it's also kind of dense, so it helps noise from going out. So there's no problem with it as long as it sounds good, and it sounds like it does. But his real thing that he's really acing is his performance. And so I hope that he's really taken off. Why did I press B?
Basically, Tetsu is just the friend who's super, always energetic, always wants to do stuff. I'm sure you have a friend like that. He's just always like, dude, we should go McDonald's.
Definitely.
Minor note for this guy's setup,
okay.
which I don't want to review everyone's setup, but their performances are great, so there's hardly any notes that I can give on that one. But his setup is I would break up the pattern of the foam. That's it. That helps the sound wave go everywhere instead of in just one direction. It helps dissipate it.
Oh,
that's it.
Found him. Hello, Ichan!
So good, damn.
Dude, I've been looking for you! I'm starving! Come on, let's grab lunch.
And then, okay.
See? Great performances. All these guys are great performances.
Away, as you see in this panel,
Okay, time to go.
Get a really deep exhale, okay, time to go.
Okay, time to go. Yo, Ichan? Wait up! Come back!
So good.
With all the other characters, they've delivered the line, and I've always had some form of criticism or, oh, let's try this. But the moment he was delivering most of those lines, I was just like, oh, that's the line. That's it. So Pat's definitely a talented guy. Yeah, I can definitely see why he gets typecast for those type of characters.
Alright, okay.
Not a bad thing.
Here's what's happened, right? I have lines that need to be redone. I have characters that haven't been cast, and I need the lines pretty much right now. So I'm just going to invite people to a Discord server, and we're going to try and cast the role for them, because I think that would be fun, and I kind of want to do something fun. So we're just going to tweet out, and we're just going to do this chaos.
What? I thought he cast everybody. All right, this is new territory. This is craziness.
Howdy.
Are you a voice actor?
I do it for me personally, but yes.
Do you want to be a kid, or do you want to be a teenage girl?
I guess I'll be a child.
Alright, you have one line, right? You're a baby.
Mama?
Alright, that wasn't bad. Okay. I won't kick you. You're good. All right, I'm gonna go to the next person.
This is awkward.
You sound like a
You
female
said
voice actor.
female?
Yeah.
I'm definitely a female.
All right. Okay. No
hit me
worries.
up with a line, homie.
All right. You want a line? Okay. Scream for me like a girl. Great job, Ruby the Robin.
Hola.
What is happening?
I'm so sorry. I'm not here for auditions. I'm just here to say hi because I gotta go.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Oh, that's sweet.
Arrow, hello.
That's cute.
Okay. I don't need any male VAs right now, unfortunately.
Oh, I didn't know what's happening.
Oh, okay.
I
want to
don't
be a mother.
I don't know if I can do a motherly voice, unfortunately.
How would you, if you were a mother, how would you sound?
Oh, he's scary.
That's not bad.
Any deeper?
Oh, he's scary.
Well, now that I have the mother and I need just the baby. So I need someone who can sound like a baby who has an XLR microphone. That's the only thing I need now. This little piece of shit in this corner. It's supposed to be a baby. I don't know why. That looks like Aqua from Konosuba. Do you have an XLR microphone? If so, feel free to try. What does XLR stand for? Hell if I know. Hello, Candy Cat. What microphone do you have?
I have a snow.
I don't know either. Huh.
Oh, no, sorry. Hello.
I do have a microphone by the but yeah.
I need a female voice. Oh, okay. That baby voice is really good, Alana. Okay, I can use that. Thank you. I think we have everything now. I'm talking.
This
to
is
Masako,
very,
who's
very
gonna do the
interesting.
feature. We good. We got everything. Good. This is absolutely like the most.
I kind of wish I saw how he got everyone in the server, how he informed everyone. That was interesting. That was quite interesting. I mean, it looks like it worked for him. Just opened a server, told people what he was looking for. People came in, and then who he didn't need, he just booted out or invited to different servers. That was interesting. Very interesting.
But in 20 minutes, we managed to get all the voice lines
Yeah.
we needed and get all the lines.
I'm
Perfect.
impressed.
Wow.
Confused
What the
and
is this project
impressed.
At this point. Hi. Today, we're in Ikebukuro. I need to go and redo my lines because I f***ed up. I missed a bunch of lines. My audio also corrupted at the end. Oh. All right, there's way more people in this building than last time.
Okay.
They're playing drums really loud in that other room. I'm a little bit worried.
Tetsu, it's almost time for homeroom. Your face was the scariest part, Tetsu.
Remember last time how I f***ed up saying the word regularly? Well, I have to redo that line. Because of course I do. Because I found out you go regularly. I need to turn this off now. I'm going to do the sexy part.
The bass is so high. See, this is why... I can hear the drums. Yes, technically he can EQ that out. But due to the fact that he is doing quieter voices and he's getting close to the microphone and most of the voice is quieter and lower, it may affect it. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if he's putting it, enough space, waiting, like he's waiting for those, like, all right, so, now they're less drum heavy, now I'm going to go back into it. This is also why you need to have some kind of at least backup recording setup in your own home. That way you can get something done, even if it's just pickups.
Hi, we just finished re-recording all the audio. Went well. I actually kind of like my lines more this time than last time. I think I was
Doesn't
just
surprise
really
me.
in my own head last time,
Yeah.
and I was just giving myself so much shit when I really didn't need to. But
Yeah.
overall, I'm
That's all
excited. I feel like I'm basically done with this project at this point. It's a big project. It's
Done with the
massive, and
recording.
we're
You still got
being
the
asked
music and you still got the sound
to do
effects.
a lot in
And you still
a
gotta
small
sync
amount of
everything up.
time for no pay. I'm not being paid again to do this. I'm only being paid per commission. So if you guys buy this, I get money. But other than that,
That's not unusual. That's actually, that's actually fairly common, especially when it comes to animations and TV shows and animes and dubs and stuff like that. Most of the time they're either being hired to dub, and the hiring basically just pays them to, to bring in talent and to pay for the studio time, and anything that actually would be profit would actually be from merchandising or licensing. Most of the time, when people do a cartoon show, a studio has to pay them money in advance for them to produce the show, and then depending on who picks it up and who buys the rights to, stream it on their platform, then they make money, or from the merchandising, the apps, the app games, the video games, the going to conventions, all this kind of stuff. That's really where the profit is. So that's not that weird. It's not that uncommon.
I'm kind of banking on the fact that people will buy this. Please buy it.
He actually is doing a really, really good job.
Wish me the best of luck, Weebs. Wish me the best. Bye.
He actually is doing
beautiful Weebs.
really,
My name
really
is
good
Justice
job
Washington,
on this.
also known as CDawgVA, and I'm a voice actor, content creator, Twitch streamer, and I'll be doing the audio edits for You Are My Princess.
There
My
you
job
go.
is basically compiling all of the raw audio into the finished product,
Right.
along with finding any missed audio and proofreading through any of the messed up lines. So without further ado,
It is great that he has a second person. It is great that he's working with someone to help him with that. Couple reasons. Number one, to get a second pair of ears on it, just in case there's something that's off, or something, just in case he missed something. It's always good to have a second person with their own checklist.
let's get into it.
This is not what I was expecting.
So this is my workspace. I use Adobe Audition.
Good.
It's one of the industry standards. Over here on the left, I have all of my files. That's things from sound effects to voiceover,
I think there's
to
only
everything that I'm
two
going to need.
studio
Also, the
industry
full
standards,
project in and of
Pro
itself.
Tools
So
and
all
Adobe.
I'm doing here is taking the lines, dragging, and dropping. Honestly, as easy as that. It's just really tedious. You don't need to keep that really tedious part. I'm also voicing in this too, somewhere. I think I'm one of the extras.
Yeah, that's pretty common. It's actually very, very common for people that do the editing or the sound effects to also fill in any background character noises or crowd noises that, maybe wasn't in the script or the director didn't add, and they'll just do that on their own. That's very, very common. It's interesting that they're not syncing it up to the visuals, because I personally, even if it's just going to audiobook and there's not going to be any of the pages that's going to be shown during the audio, I would still kind of line it up, like bring in the pages and just so that you had a reference of what does this scene look like, all this kind of stuff. I'm sure that he does, but it's just not on his screen. Maybe it's on a screen to the side, or maybe he has the actual physical copy. But I would say, probably have a visual to go off of to also kind of help you with this.
One of the techniques I do is Foley. I just record my own sound effects.
Yep.
Because sometimes you won't be able to find exactly what you want on the internet.
Yes, that is very, very true.
And I'm just going to start swipping and swapping this stuff, all right? That might be wasting my athletic tape, but whatever. And that's the basic sound. Let's add some sparkles and fun time sounds, all right? We look at the comic, we see what kind of fun thing.
This is exactly what I was talking about. He actually has the manga in front of him. Not the order that I would have done it, but I'm not making this, so, whatever. I mean, he still brought it in for reference for a lot of the Foley work, so that is really the only part that was truly important, because, without a visual, you're not exactly sure, what it is you're making Foley
Things
for.
are done around certain characters, where it's serious, where it's not serious, where there's background stuff, and we add in where the sparkles are, because this has a lot of sparkles. I have a lot of sparkles in this. Sparkle chimes might work a little bit better. They're a little bit longer. Last thing I'm probably going to do for this one.
Oh. Does he have a full library of sparkles?
Adding ambience track.
Sorry, the nurse isn't here, so I did the best I could.
I liked that sound because it makes it seem more empty and makes it seem more intimate between them, because this is just them two in one room. There shouldn't be any other sounds but that. Putting in the room tone there just makes you realize how silent it actually.
I generally say put room tone, pretty much all the time, whether it's, the outside, like you're in a park or whatever, the park noise. But if you're in an empty room, there's always noise. There's always the resting noise, whether it's the AC unit, whether it's noise from outside bleeding in, whether it's, a PC, what have you. There's always a little bit of noise. And if it's just dead silence, if you just have dead silence in it, it's going to feel very unnatural, and it can actually be unnerving.
Is, and it makes it a little bit more awkward here. The last thing I do here is I search.
I like this part. This is probably one of my favorites. This is the thing that I really didn't.
Like right there. Look at that. That looks
didn't
like
see.
Church. Come on, that's cute.
This is something that we didn't see in the other one that I really wanted to see.
I put it there. That's how I do it, basically.
Really, it's nothing, okay? This was totally my fault. Sure.
Oh, and it ends perfectly too. That's a PogChamp moment.
Yeah, nice.
This audiobook should have been done and approved 2 days ago. Needless to say, a little worried. So right now, I'm going to listen to the audio.
So he's behind?
Book, give my first reactions to hearing it, because again, I haven't heard anything. I mean, I recorded all the voices with people, so theoretically I know how it should all sound, but mixed, it's gonna sound, I imagine, a little weird to me and a little foreign. What if it's bad? What if I hate it? There's no going back if I hate this. The perfect way to enjoy this audiobook, and it is by far the best way, is to read along with the manga. If you buy the audiobook, you get it with the manga, so have them both up. You can play it on your phone and then open Bookwalker and download the manga and read along. If you're on PC, you can do the same. Highly recommend listening to this while reading. It'll make it a really good experience, I promise. I hope. Anyway, I'm about to listen, but that's the way we're going to do it today.
Today is cleaning duty with Tetsu and Fuji. I'll just wait outside.
President!
Takojo. Student council, huh? As president, he's gotta be busy. The school festival is coming up too.
Pretty good.
Looking at him now, he really is. The school prince.
Change this and that, okay?
Got it!
It's Sumi!
Ah! Here he comes!
That was close. Alright, last chapter, chapter 5.
I think that was too close to the microphone, but that's just me.
Oh, yeah. Can I call you back in like 20 minutes? Top 10 worst times for your mum to call. You're about to hear you not. Oh, it's done! We did it! We fucking did it! We're nearly fucking done!
That was a bit much.
Yeah! Today should have been a day of celebration. It's the 24th. The 24th of March, and today should have been crunch, me celebrating and finally getting the last of the audiobook.
What happened?
The audiobook is completely done. We finished it. We finished it 2 days ago. This video was supposed to go live on the 25th of March. I don't know what day it is now. I have no idea when it's eventually going to get approved. So I'm just sitting around, and it's really frustrating because I had a lot of other videos planned that now I have to move around and ask other sponsors if it's okay if I can push them around and do all sorts of other stuff. And I know this is totally stuff that none of you care about, but it's just really frustrating when I've poured like a month plus in work on this project on my own.
So is he just waiting on them to approve it? Is that all he's waiting on? Right?
Not to mention the work that other people have put into this project, expecting it to go live on the 25th. So now I have to write an email to everyone involved saying, hey, it's not going live on the 25th. I don't know when it's going live. Don't tweet about it. Don't say anything about it yet. I'm so frustrated.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah, that's actually kind of familiar as well. There's been tons of projects that, there's tons of projects that, I did that were awesome that I still haven't seen anything on, and I still can't talk about because, you know, I never got word. It never actually came out. And so, yeah, it is actually very, very common for, not just for producing something. Sometimes, you'll produce a show or, a film or what have you, and it has to go through another person's approval, and you're kind of just in this limbo, which is where he is. And yeah, it's very gut-wrenching. It's horrible because let's say that they don't approve it. He just spent a lot of money and essentially wasted a lot of money. And that's why I was always very weird, felt very weird about his kind of arrangement with them. He's not being paid up front. He was being paid commission through a code. So having to wait for them is horrible. And I would never wish that on anyone, especially someone who's kind of been in similar situations. I've spent tons and tons of money on projects that nothing's ever happened with. I did a pilot for a parody show, Mr. and Mrs. Stormtrooper, which was a big Star Wars parody, and I spent like over $3,000 on the first episode. It turned out great, but trying to get funding was very, very tricky, and people that said that they would be involved backed away, and then it just died, and so it just ended up being just a huge waste of my money, and I can't monetize it. Never got enough traction, never got enough views, and it just chucked it off as an experience and kind of a huge loss, and I'm hoping that's not what's happening to him.
Angry, I'm just so done. I'm drained. I'm sick of doing this.
I imagine.
It just feels like no one gives a shit that I did all this work.
He just keeps ranting as it just fades out. So sad.
Yes.
Yay!
Yes, we did it. We did it. I mean, hopefully I need to still do this video, but we did it. Finally. You can buy the audiobook right now. Can I just take a moment to say thank you to everyone who helped with this project, everyone who took part in this project. All the links are down below.
You ever find out why it was taking them a while?
Project. And thank you to you, the viewer, for sitting through this. I don't know how long this video is, but I'm assuming it's very long.
I'm going to say the same thing. This is a really long video, and I don't know how long this video is. And if you watched all the way from the beginning to now, my God, you're a saint.
Thank you for sitting through all of this. I know it was a lot, and I hope you enjoyed every step of it, and I hope that you could find joy in my struggles.
I enjoy watching a lot of his videos.
I really wanted this to be interesting.
I don't want to make reacting to his videos a regular thing.
Which, if you haven't, go and do that. Use coupon code CDawg, or I don't get paid. Even if you buy the manga and don't use the coupon code, I don't get paid.
I'm not going to, but
please use.
I'm not going to. It's not my cup of tea. But if y'all want to support him, not only is a link to his channel and to this video in the description, as always. If you want to support him, if I assume that it's still up, if it is, and I assume he still makes money from the commission. I hope so. If he doesn't, I'd be pissed.
The coupon code CDawg. You need to make a new account for it to be eligible. Don't forget that. A massive thank you to everyone who took part. Here are all the names of the beautiful people who helped make this video possible. I'll wait. I got time. You've been watching this for an hour or whatever. I don't know. So if enough
that actually was a longer list than I thought it was going to be.
Get another chance to do this again in future. I'm really hoping that we get good sales on this. Not just because I want to make my money back. I really love doing this. It's a challenge.
Yes, you do.
But I want to do this again, bigger and better each time. And if you want to see
audiobooks specifically, or just
even if you watch this video,
large productions like this,
and that means a lot. And I genuinely say this from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. Thank you so much for watching all of this video. I don't even have words to thank you. It really means a lot. So
it was probably the biggest project.
Finally closing the buck on this project. It feels weird after being here for a month.
Probably the biggest project he had done up to that point. I don't know if has he done anything bigger since then?
I'm happy to say I'm done.
Has he?
And I'm gonna go and take a really, really long bath and sleep a lot. So thank you.
You've earned it. Just a genuinely nice guy.
I'm done. We did it. Use coupon code CDawg, baby. I'm going home. I'm already home, but you know what I mean. Bye.
All right, well, I'm going to stop that right there. Yeah, I'm going to open this up a little bit, too. What time is it? My God. Jesus. Oh, I don't know how I'll be able to edit this down. But you guys wanted me to react to this. Finally reacted to this. I will say for sure that it was not a waste of my time. I hope it was not a waste of y'all's. I hope there was enough information that I was able to add and share to the content, to the material. It's very, very hard. It's very, very tricky to do reaction videos like this. And I know there's been tons of reactions, not just to CDawgVA, but just to all other kinds of voiceover related topics that people have been wanting, kind of a breakdown to give them more information on a topic. And yes, even though I will probably be doing more stuff similar to this, it's not the entirety of what this channel is about. I'd only tackle it if there is a way of guaranteeing that you guys gain something from it. So I hope you guys did, absolutely for sure. This is one of the longest videos I have done in a long time. I've actually been in here for almost 2.5 hours. Almost 2.5 hours. I'm going to try to cut this down to something reasonable. I can make no promises. I also, again, do not make any promises that this will not be broken into 2 parts. But needless to say, let me go ahead and close that. Okay. Sorry, just for a second, my heart dropped in my chest. I was like, I did hit record on on both recorders, right? And I did. So realizing that it was 2 hours, I almost freaked out. Okay, well, anyway, yeah. That's going to be it. Again, hope you guys liked the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, go ahead and give it a thumbs down, but you have to say why. Be very specific. Otherwise, it doesn't count. It doesn't count. Show Connor some love by going to his channel, subscribing, and the video and his link to his channel is going to be in the description. He seems like a genuinely nice dude. Be really cool to meet him. Seems legit. Seems like a genuinely nice guy, just from what I've seen. And I'm sure he deserves all the subscribers and all the love that you guys can give him. Now, there are no other notes that I think I could possibly add to this other than this was all done for review and for, critique and to add some additional information. Not saying that I know the insights of his content to give that kind of information, but possibly explain some stuff or ask some questions that maybe y'all didn't know or didn't know to ask. Again, for the purpose of education and for you guys to get better, especially when it comes to the category of voiceover. And this was, I've never done a audiobook for a manga or graphic novel. I don't know, maybe it's something that I'll probably try in the near future and then I'll document it. But, that's going to be it. Yeah, I'm kind of flustered because I'm really tired right now. So, anyway, thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you're new, bell for notifications, and leave down in the comment section below. Like to see me cover any other topics. Subscribe, what have you. Ugh. I did that again. Whew. All right, well, that's going to be it. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe, bell for notifications, leave down in the comment section below. Like to see me cover any other topics. Ask any questions, totally fine. My coaching email is down below if you'd like me to review your demos or anything like that, or just want to chat on a personal level. That's what that's for. And yeah, that's going to be it. And until next time, peace.